Yes,
Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba. Jyoti, happy to see you, Jyoti.
Happy to see you, Jimmy uncle. How are you?
Be good. All well, thank you.
Trying to be good, trying to follow Baba in his footsteps.
Nice to meet up old friends. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. It's been so long. I keep thinking I have to go to Mehrabad, but I think when he calls, then only we can go.
Yeah. Today, Jimmy is going to sing for us.
Wow.
Okay, time. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Janice, could you start with the prayer, please?
Yes. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Jai Baba, everybody.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Welcome to our Thursday evening Bombay Centers program. At the onset, I'd like to invite our one and only Lord Avatar Meher Baba to come and join us for this meeting. Not only join us, but to take over the entire proceedings of this meeting. Let each speaker speak as per your will and your wish. Today, we have Jyoti, Gandhi, and Danesh, Irani. Jyoti Gandhi is a very well-known personality in terms of lots of things. She conducts seminars and stuff like that. And she is a business management graduate with a counseling degree and wears many caps. She has 40 years of teaching experience in many fields. She's a happiness coach and practitioner. I think we should all go to her for learning happiness. From Berkeley Method of Happiness. She's a brain gym coach. It doesn't apply to me because I don't have any brains. Paul and Grain Dennison of California. She's a spiritual guide, a paper spiritualist.
Sculpturist.
Aji?
Sculpturist.
Sculpturist. Yeah. An avid prize-winning social worker, a life skill trainer who has relentlessly worked in and around Mumbai for the benefit of fellow beings. Always advocating of being a student, she single-handedly wants to create awareness and importance of brain health as a preventive measure to many diseases and touch 40,000 lives. Besides that, she is authoring a book. She is a podcaster and have done nearly 450 webinars in the past 2 years. Always in servitude, been in Baba's fold since past almost 15 years. So we've got a lot to learn from this lady. Over to you, Jyoti. Come and teach us. Jai Baba.
Thank you. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Good evening, my friends. Thank you, Sam, for having me on this show. Thank you, Janice, for inviting me and letting me share one of Baba's experiences. I've had a couple, I've had many actually. I'm going to share, depending on the time, starting from the big ones. I came to know of Baba through Nan Umriga's book, Sounds of Silence, which was her first edition. Initially, the book was presented to me by my elder brother, since he and Carl Umriga and Neville Umriga were studying in the same school, Cathedral and John Connon High School. Sorry.
Vignya Misri, switch off your audio, please. Jai Baba. Thank you. Go ahead.
I read the book and I couldn't put it down. And I was immediately mesmerized by it. And had left it in the universe that one day I shall visit the Samadhi, and had, put it in the universe that Meher Baba, requested Baba that somehow let me come and get your darshan. The day arrived. Now this was all way back in, I think, between 2006 and 8. The day arrived a few years later when Neha Sharad Joshi, another friend of mine, and Dr. Vasudha, who was going to settle down permanently in Canada, wanted to travel across India and do darshan at a couple of places in India. One being Mehrabad and Baba's Samadhi. Now this was like big news for me because I had just left it. I never knew anything about Baba, and I said that this is one place I did want to go. So without blinking an eyelid, I agreed and was fortunate to get Baba's darshan, also meet Bhauji, and I had at that point of time visited the Ahmednagar Center, Baba Center. Slowly but surely, my daughter Devanshi and my husband too came into the Baba fold. Each of us individually and collectively have a lot of Baba experiences. The one that I'm going to share today, some people may have heard of it before, some people may be new to it, but I'm just going to share it once again. So mine was a love marriage. My husband and me were working together at the Taj Mahal Hotel Boutique called Burlington's. I remember I had stubbornly joined the boutique because in those days, we girls were not allowed to work outside of our homes. And my husband too had joined the boutique just to learn something about the export house of Burlington's because they were in the textile business. We were actually two different people from completely different backgrounds and different communities, and were meant to meet there and eventually get married. It was the year 1980 when we had not heard anything about Meher Baba. My present husband in those days would present me with very beautiful love cards, which were very close to my heart. There were no cell phones in those days. There was no other way of communicating your feelings except through love cards. So for 40 years, this was all 40 years back. I'm quoting 1980, all right? So I had preserved all these cards, marriage and post-marriage. I had a carton full of them. And until about 10 years back, we decided to renovate the house. So our house was renovated way back in 2012. And the card I had received was 1980. I would also like to mention that during those days, we were in two minds because the house, we didn't have enough money to renovate the house. And Baba's face had manifested in one of our rooms. The side face of Baba with the ponytail and, the accidented nose. That appeared in one of our walls. We have yet preserved it. Though we have renovated the house, I have just got it. I have left that space and then got the cupboards made. So, it's covered so that nobody touches it and it's preserved. So that was one of the first things. And then somehow my house got renovated in spite of so many shortcomings. It just happened. Now, as usual, all our homes are filled with a lot of excessive stuff, a lot of stuff that we don't really need. And during renovation, you have to take down all the cartons from the lofts and empty it out. As we were removing cartons, giving away things, throwing things, disposing of things, this carton came full of the 500 love cards that I had preserved for, in those days, well, 30 years when I got the carton out. Now, these cards were very close to my heart. So randomly, I didn't want to dispose the whole thing away. So randomly, I picked up one card. It was a pink card with roses on it and a lot of writing. So I had received this way back 30 years back. And in those days, I must have read it. But at that point of time, I didn't read it. I just took the card from all the 500 cards randomly, and I put it in my cupboard. And I said, oh, there are too many words. I'll read it sometime later. I kept it safely in the cupboard, thinking that whenever I get time, I'm going to read the whole card. The whole house got renovated, and one day we had a Baba meeting at our place where Gokuran uncle, who takes care of the library in Mehrabad, he was on his way to Australia. He had an extra day. And so Rakesh said that, do you want to have a meeting, Jyoti? And I said, of course. And then we just extempore arranged a Baba meeting with Gokuran uncle with the support of Rakesh and Ashrima. So from the morning, I was getting the house cleaned, excited that, oh my God, like today everyone's going to come. And I was always wanting one since the house was renovated. I said, I need to have a Baba meeting here and, meet everyone. As I was scanning my cupboards as to what to wear that evening, suddenly this card appeared in my hand. And I read the card. I just sat and I read the card. I said, today's Baba's meeting, the Baba card has come in my hand. Let me sit and read it. It was a beautiful card, but my senses and, I was shocked. I was shell-shocked when I read what was written at the end of the card. It was written, freely adapted by Meher Baba on love.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So now I sat down, my head reeling, and I tried to connect the dots. I received a card in the year 1980. I picked up randomly one card from the 500 love cards, 30 years back. And after 10 years, I took and read the card only when the Baba meeting was going to be held. So you see, Baba has his timing in place, everything in place. I could have read it when I even removed the card from the carton. But I didn't do that because then I would have, of course, known all of this. But it didn't happen then. I think Baba knows when to time it all. Like it's a timing which takes you by surprise, it shocks you, and it leaves its marks permanently. It leaves its marks permanently on you. So 30 years later, in the year 2010, and I kept this without reading it, and then I reread it only in the year 2013, during the Baba meeting, and not before that. So that is Baba timing for you. I was dazed and couldn't believe my eyes. Baba had meant us to get married and probably bless us with children who are completely into the Baba fold. So my daughter Devanshi and her husband, her in-laws too, my grandson who's 6 years old, they're all Baba followers now. They're all Baba followers. In fact, my grandson would only sleep at with the Baba Aarti. He'd cry because he was here with me for 3 months after he was born. And whenever he would cry and things like that, my daughter would only sing the Baba Aarti and, all of that. And then that would put him to sleep. So, I don't know how Baba works this whole thing, but he was meant to be in our lives. He knew us before we knew him. In 1980, I had not heard of Meher Baba. I only heard of him in 2006 or 2008. So you can imagine. He orchestrated the whole marriage and my life ahead. Today, I firmly believe that all that happens to me, I dedicate it to him. And I remain in his service and in gratitude. Of course, with the Meher, I followed Baba's in the group called the, following his footsteps. So we went to, Banaras and Kashmir and all these places. And I had sworn to myself that whichever place of Baba I go to, which included even Sri Lanka and Italy and, a lot of places, Pune, that I would say Baba Jap and Baba Naam at least 10,000 times in each of those places, which while I traveled, I did in my mind. So this was one huge experience. And would you like to see the card?
Yes, please.
So I've kept it. This was the card. And this is freely adapted.
From Meher Baba on love.
And this is 1980. This card is 1980. So I'm going to keep this till the end of my life. Another experience I'd like to share is that I think Vinod Khilnani uncle and Pramila ji and we were all going to go to Australia for the Sahvas, the women's Sahvas. And, I wanted to leave by the 21st of March. And for love or for money, we wouldn't get the tickets. For love or for money. Eventually, I think we got the tickets for 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, 22nd or 23rd. And we were really struggling to put this whole program together. Everything was paid up. The stay over there, the insurances, our bags were packed when suddenly COVID hit us. Now with COVID, everything kind of, everything changed. And the tickets had cost us between 60 and 70,000 bucks. And the stay and everything, the entire trip was almost ₹1,00,000. And we were not knowing what to do, how to do, what do you get your money back? Because Modi ji slammed the lockdown right on the 21st of March, if I'm not mistaken. And our tickets were for the 22nd. So much in those days, we were so pained. We said, if we would have left earlier, thinking that this is a small thing which is just going to come and go and we could have taken our trip. Little did we know that this would have carried on for so long. We would have been stuck. And actually, Baba saved us from going. And with his grace, each of us being senior citizens, and we somehow got our money back. Because I think the government said that the people who they need to have their money refunded. So because we were senior citizens in a good airline, 3 of us got our monies refunded. A lot of people were just given credit notes, a lot lost. Some people would have reached there. Sorry. So I think this is like until his grace, until his blessing, until all that is there, we don't see beyond our noses. We don't think beyond our noses. But he has everything planned. We are all in his plan. And I think we are fortunate to be as part of Baba's plan and Baba's, teachings, Baba's meetings in this day and life. There are many, many such incidents. I've just shared a couple of them. And so I just feel that everything happens for a reason. And all of us are in Baba fold. We just have to connect the dots and look ahead. So with that, I humbly thank you for giving me a listening ear. And I can, go on talking, but then I think we have another speaker too. And It's lovely meeting all of you all. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this, experience. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you,
Avtar Meher
Baba.
Baba
Thank
ki
you,
jai.
Baba.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes, Baba does orchestrate everyone's life. That is very true. And this is what I learned from her talks. Anybody has any questions for Jyoti? Jimmy Khan?
ज्योति जय बाबा
Jai
नेहा है ना
Baba.
हाय
Hi,
ज्योति
Neha.
आप हाय लखनऊ वाला जो किस्सा है वो जरा सबको सुनाइए जो आपने भजन या गीत गाया था बाबा के फोटो के सामने लखनऊ लखनऊ सेंटर आप गए थे
हाँ, मैं गई थी
वो
लखनऊ.
हाँ वो बताइए ना वो बताइए सबको वो तो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है
When can you just, because so many meetings, Neha, why don't you just
गिरा था आप गा रहे थे आपने डफ गाई किया था और
हाँ, मैं,
वेरी ब्यूटीफुल
did we take the Dafli or how? And
यस
okay,
यस
so okay. And so, like I just mentioned that wherever I've traveled, I normally try and see Baba centers and, the Baba places. And we normally make it a point to go there, at least kuch bhi karo, contact karo, darshan karo, all of that. And this was in Lucknow when I had some of my brain health awareness talks, and I was extremely exhausted. I remember it was like 2 hectic days of teaching, and but then I said I can't leave Lucknow without going to the center, and all of them had specially arranged because me and my daughter were in Lucknow, and they said no, we'll just extempore have a Baba meeting, we'll have bhajans. And then what happened when we reached there, the mics suddenly blew off, and I always carry a portable mic with me because when I'm teaching, sometimes it gets, some of the places don't have mics. So I can't talk to 200, 400 people without a mic. So I always carry, and that day I had not packed it off. I don't know, it just somehow remained in my bag, one of my portable mics. So when we went there, the mic crashed. And all of them were saying, oh God, now how will we do it? And this and that. Was a biggish house. In Lucknow, they have bungalows. Bombay, we have flats, but there they have big bungalows. So you need to have mics when there are a lot of people around. So I offered my mic. I said that, look, I have this. I don't know how much it's a portable one. But it worked. Everybody sang. Everybody used that mic. And I also remember, I normally don't sing. So I always had put it in my bucket list. एक दिन मैं मेहराबाद समाधि के सामने इतनी guts निकालूंगी कि मैं बाबा के सामने गा सकूं. So that was one very big bucket. It was a scare, कि मुझे हमेशा डर लगता है मैं कैसे गाऊं समाधि में, कुछ mistake हो जाए, कुछ गलती हो जाए. And I used to say, no, Baba, you have to make me do it. So उस दिन एक dress rehearsal हो गया because since I was so passionate about singing, I have not yet sang in the Mehrabad Samadhi, but that day we had a dress rehearsal. Everybody said, no, you have to sing. And so I sang, it's like today I could just sing without
Janice?
Yes, it seems like an internet issue from her end.
All right, okay. Give her another 2 minutes and then we... Go ahead, Jyoti, unmute yourself. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
So that day, my bucket list got through. I sang in front of everyone. And now I can, without a voice, without anything, without having any music sense, I just sing easily. just in Baba's dhun. I just sing. So that was one big experience there. That way, there are so many experiences, choti baatein.
जो फ्लावर गिरा
Thank
था
you, Neha,
बाबा,
for reminding me.
फ्लावर गिरा था.
हाँ, गिरा था, फूल गिरा. यार मेरे को सब याद ही नहीं है. नेहा आपको याद है? बिकॉज मैंने इमीडिएटली आपको बोला था. यस, हाँ जी. तो हम गा रहे थे तब वो, या एंड दे हैड a big Baba photo, big का फोटो, वैसा फोटो था. And वो बहुत सारे roses. I mean, it was so beautiful. I can't tell you. And then how the fool fell in my lap and everybody started clapping and they said that हमारे यहाँ जब भी कुछ बाबा को स्वीकार होता है तब फूल पढ़ते हैं. So they said, you know, your prayer is sweekarofied, your song is sweekarofied, and yes, it was with a lot of humility and grace. I accepted everything, and with a lot of happiness, मेरी थकान दूर हो गई, and came back with another new lovely experience of Baba. So thank you, Sam.
This is what happens when you take a dip in his love. उनके जो प्रेम का सरोवर है उसमें, when you take a dip, no matter how tired you are, how exhausted you are, you just come out refreshed. That is in his name. That is the beauty of his name. Anybody else? Any questions?
Jyoti, can you tell about that Italy one you had gone to with your family?
Jyoti?
She's hung up again.
Jyoti?
Her mic and video shows on, but the screen is blank. I think again network issues, maybe.
Okay. Anybody else wants to say anything? Jai Baba, everybody. Does anybody want to say anything before our master speaker comes on? Okay. Mr. Danesh Irani, are you around, sir?
Yes, Sam. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Okay, hold your horses. Most of us know Danesh, most of us. But for those of us who do not know him, he is a professional actor. And
Sorry, Sam, I'm logging off. Sorry, I have an unstable internet connection.
Yeah, okay.
Jai Baba.
Jai
Some
Meher
other
Baba.
time we talk about the Italy thing.
Sure.
Thank you.
Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. So as I was saying, Danesh is an actor by profession. But more than anything else, he is very spiritual in his own way and loves Baba immensely. I don't know who loves more, whether he loves Baba more or Baba loves him more. I don't know between the two. And I would like him to briefly, although he has spoken once before, I would like him to briefly tell us how he came to Baba and all that. And then just take it from there on, whatever he wants to say. And also, if you can narrate any of your personal experiences, your life with Baba, how it has changed ever since you came in his fold, etc., etc. So over to you, Danesh. Take it. Go ahead.
Jai Meher Baba, everybody. So to clear one point first, it is very, very clear that Baba loves all of
Jai
us
Baba.
way more than we love him. So that is something that doesn't need any debate. It is a matter of fact. Uh, Before I start talking, I actually wanted to read out one of Baba's quotes, which is one of my favorite quotes. It's a slightly long one. It's not really a quote, it's more of a message. It goes like this. Baba says, "Life is a mighty joke. He who knows this can hardly be understood by others. He who does not know it finds himself in a state of delusion. He may ponder over this problem day and night, but will find himself incapable of knowing it. Why? People take life seriously and God lightly, whereas we must take God seriously and life lightly. Then we know that we always were the same and will ever remain the same, the originator of the joke. This knowledge is not achieved by reasoning, but it is the knowledge of experience." Jai Baba. Uh, so my story is not really some very unique, very exciting story. It just happens to be a slightly funny story, and that is why Sam likes me saying it again and again. Um, to give you a brief background, I was a very staunch, very religious Zoroastrian, and I used to believe in all the rituals and everything, the custody after you come out of the bathroom. Sometimes I would not do it all the time, I don't want to lie. I would go to the fire temple every day, do all my prayers, and follow all the androjas, as they call it, the days on which Parsis are vegetarian, which means we are allowed to eat fish and eggs. So all those things I would do, and along with being very staunch, you become very proud of these things, and it happens. It happens to everybody. You'll end up taking a lot of pride, and you think that what you're doing is right, and that is when you don't realize, but you're actually very blind, um, and what you think is right is actually the worst possible thing that you could be doing for yourself or to others. So anyway, I was in this beautiful zone. However, I always had not only respect, but also I was curious about the other gods, so as to say. So with a friend of mine, I would go and attend these the Bhagavad Gita sessions that used to happen at Bharati Vidya Bhavan, or there is a small Sai Baba Mandir outside my lane, so I would always go there and just touch his feet for no apparent reason. I didn't know that he was Baba's perfect master at that point of time. And this is all prior to the fact that I didn't even know who Mer Baba was, right? So anyway, it so happened that my best friends, Darai and Nawaz, Dubash, and Darai Subedar, they happen to know about Mehrabad through our mighty and Ronnie Khambata's elder son, Nariman, who at that point of time was living in Bombay and would visit Mehrabad very regularly. And they wanted to go and see Mehrabad and were interested in what this place was. So they invited me to tag along, and I said, yes, sure, I'll come for a holiday, no problem. And I didn't know what Mehrabad was or who Baba was or anything of that sort. And I just was told that we are going on a holiday. So I ended up going there with my swimming trunks and packed my bag, and I was going for a holiday. I reached there and I saw a beautiful Meher Pilgrim retreat, which is just like a magnificent castle. And I was enthralled. Everything was very beautiful. Then we entered the dining room, and I saw the paintings that you see in the dining room on either side. And I look up at each one of them, and I turn to Darius and I say, this guy, whoever this guy is, he seems to be very self-centered. He's got all his pictures up everywhere. Now, I didn't know it was whose pictures they were or who Baba was at that time. And I see that his pictures are everywhere. And then we met for lunch, and I asked Nariman, no, Darius actually, I think, asked Nariman, that tell us a little bit about who Baba is. And Nariman, being so, uh, he's very, very, very eloquent when he talks about Baba. He'll go into the absolute detail, and he'll give you a very nice explanation, as he usually does. And in one swift sentence, he just said, Baba is God. And then he continued eating his food. And we said, what do you mean Baba is God? Who is Baba? So he said, no, Baba is God. And when you go to the Samadhi in the evening, you'll understand. And firstly, when he said Samadhi, all the bells in my head started going, saying, "Oh, I'm not going to go. This must be some cult thing. I don't want to be part of this and all." So he said, "No, no, come. You'll see. You'll see." And we went for the evening aarti to the Samadhi. And as you are all very well aware, there are no bells at the Samadhi. There is no ting ting, nothing of that sort that happens. It's just you and him and everybody standing together and praying to Baba. And at the end of that aarti, in the universal prayer, when we say that you are the ancient one, the highest of the high, at that point of time, when we say the word Ahuramazda, Darius said that I said it very loudly. I don't remember saying it very loudly, but he claimed that I said it very loudly. And in my heart, it was just that when I said it, I meant it. And that was the end for me. As in, there was no discussion or anything after that. After that first aarti, I fell in love with Baba, and I'm still falling in love with Baba every day. So that was basically, in short, just how I got to know about Baba. Then there was this long honeymoon period which everybody has when they come to Baba for the first time. When you see his face everywhere you go, in the trees, in the clouds, and you'll see the outlines, and you'll say, "Oh, Baba, Baba," and that thrill of, when it's like when you fall in love with someone, you're constantly on the phone, or you're talking, or you want to meet that person or be with that person. And the same thing obviously happens when you fall in love with Baba, at least for me. uh, then there's also the marriage which takes place, where it's nice when it's new, and then it gets old. And right now I think I'm married to Baba, because I think Baba and I, we are in a place where we are a typical husband and wife situation going on for ourselves. Uh, there is a lot of gratitude, at least, that I wanted to talk about today, actually. So that was basically the story of how I came to Baba. What I wanted to talk about today were two things in particular. One was gratitude. So, gratitude, firstly, for the gift of his name and for his presence, for just being present all the time. And he is present all the time. This is not something that any one person experiences. This is something that everybody experiences. You may experience it as your inner voice, but Baba said, "I am that inner voice." So there he is with you at that point of time also. But gratitude also, just for, and when you say it, it sounds very generic and it sounds very ambiguous, but it's actually, it is the only way to say it, is that gratitude for everything. Because it does it just does blanket everything that you have, everything that you don't have also, more importantly. Because we are very grateful for all the good things, but we also have to be grateful for all the bad things, because they're also bringing us closer to him. Gratitude to have, when we say, "Oh, I really miss," when you lose someone very very dear to you, or something like that, and you say, "I really miss them." Gratitude, because at least he gave us that person for that much time for us to be able to miss him, right? So, and gratitude for the fact that we have someone to miss, because there are again people that we know that, you come across people and they don't They don't. It's not necessary that we are only grateful for the bigger things in life, but gratitude for the smaller things. Sometimes I'm grateful to Baba when he surprises me about a lot of things, like a dal chawal dish. I crave a dal chawal dish sometimes more than I would crave a palau dar or something like that. But a dal chawal dish just blows you out. Ironically, before I came to Baba, I hated dal chawal. I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. And somehow, for some reason now, I just love it. Maybe it's Alan's cooking or whatever it is. Uh, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was gratitude, and especially around the times that we have right now. We are grateful. I'm grateful to him for us at least having not only the basic necessities, but even a few of our luxuries that we still have with us, which a lot of people don't. In Especially when you just open your eyes and look right outside your building, you will find there's so many people that don't have it, and we are grateful to him for those things. The second thing I wanted to talk about was a term that I've heard a lot of Baba lovers use. And initially, I always felt that uh, it was an excuse that was used very often when things did not go your way. And that was, the term is called Baba time. Okay, so if something didn't happen, they said, when Baba says it's okay, in Baba time it will happen. But when you start looking at it closely and you start monitoring it, you realize that yes, it is actually in Baba time. And in everything that you see, you do, you start noticing how it is all happening in Baba time, all the time. And it's not only the things that you want or the things that you don't want for that matter. Like initially, it was always about going to Mehrabad or coming to Mehrabad. uh, we would always want to leave very early in the morning and want to be there in 4.5 hours. We've only ever made it to Mehrabad in 4 hours. That's been the first time that we went to Mehrabad, and that was when Ronnie Kambata drew out a map on a small. There was no Google Maps or anything, so Ronnie Kambata drew out a map on a piece of paper with from the exit from Talegaon to Chakan to Shikrapur, and then at that time we had to go via the kinetic circle and then go into Mehrabad via Lower Mehrabad. There was no bypass road that time. And that time we made it in 4 hours. We don't know how, but we did. We've never ever been able to go to Mehrabad in 4 hours after that day. Now it takes you a lot longer, especially because of the traffic and all in the villages. So I realized that you only now we don't bother with speeding or going very fast or going slow, not because of any fear of an accident or something like that. It's just that we've realized that sometimes you make very good time all the way till you reach Talegaon, you reach Chakan, and then someone be like, oh, but I'm very hungry, I want to have a sandwich. And that sandwich will result in a big breakfast buffet which will go on for an hour and 15 minutes. And you say, okay, I just drove fast for nothing, we're still going to reach at that time only. What is that time? That time is Baba time. So that was the first thing, was going and coming from Mehrabad. um, I got married in 2019, and before we got married, we had purchased a house, and the plan was to start work on the house after we returned from our honeymoon. That was supposed to be in June of 2019. And then, as we all know, Baba turned one of the keys, and we had this big pandemic that hit us, and everything was getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And we were just wondering what is going to happen? What is going to happen? When are we going to get moving? And then finally, one day we just said, okay, you know what? It'll happen when Baba wants it to happen. It'll happen in Baba time. The day we said that, that day itself, we got a call saying from tomorrow the work can start. So you see, resigning to it just now, again, the other side of the debate is that had you not said it, still the call would have come. I don't know, and you can't prove that to me. So I'm going to believe this for my own satisfaction. What this pandemic basically taught us majorly was to love Baba without being able to go to Mehrabad, because for me, I used to always believe that you go to Mehrabad and you get completely soaked in Baba's love, and you come back, and then every Sunday we go to the Baba Center, and that is the doctor's small booster shot that he keeps giving you to sustain you till you go back again, and then you fill up again, and then you come back. And now there were no booster shots, there was no drenching in his love, and we were just wondering, and we were waiting and waiting, and Mehrabad is shut down. But then the online meeting started, and the virtual darshan from Mehrabad started with the arti and all of that. And you realize that uh, it was okay that you were not going to Mehrabad. I would still stand up at 7 o'clock in the evening at home and do Baba's arti. And slowly, my father started joining in the evenings with me for arti, and then sometimes my neighbors would come in, and sometimes I'd just be alone, sometimes there'd be like 6 7 people doing the arti with me. It was just something that kept happening in a very natural, organic way. And I realized that I had forgotten uh, one of the tune of one of the verses of the Divya Sanatan Arti, and while I started singing it, I realized that I don't know what the next tune is supposed to be, and I just kept quiet. And luckily, my aunt, who was outside the house, she must have been listening to me sing the arti, and because I felt silent, she started singing it from outside, and I said, "Oh, thank you, Baba," and then I continued again. So he'll help you. He always helps in these kind of things. Like I say, sometimes he's quicker than a wish. Before you wish it, sometimes things happen, and like you're wondering, and it'll just never happen. But that's again Baba time. That when sometimes you'll be like you're sitting and watching TV, and you feel like having an ice cream, and someone from the house just comes and say, "Hey, do you want to have this ice cream? It's very nice." And so I was just thinking of having an ice cream. Sure, thank you very much. And sometimes you're calling 10 stores and asking, ice cream hai, ice cream hai, and there's no ice cream. So again, Baba time. If Baba wants you to have that ice cream, you will have that ice cream only at that time, in his time. So quicker than a wish most of the time. um, Now, there was uh, there was an instance once when I happened to be at one of these Thursday programs at the center, when they were conducted physically, and Sam had asked everybody in who was seated over there to say that what was their favorite line from the Australian Aarti. Sam, I don't know if you remember this.
No, I don't.
And you had said what is your most favorite line from the Australian Aarti, and I had said that my favorite line from the Australian Aarti was the line where I say that I just want to be a flower, you know,
Ah,
yes, and Sam had said his favorite line was the very next line. And in hindsight, when I look at it and think about it, I said, yeah, that is actually a very, very good line, the one that Sam chose in comparison. Next time someone asks me the question, I'm going to steal Sam's answer and say it. But after that fun exchange was over, he just drew our attention. Sam drew our attention to the line that we all say it, and I used to say it initially, and sometimes still say it very matter of factly, because it's now it's spinal memory, and we hope to remember it even if Baba gives us all the Alzheimer's and dementia and all of that. I just hope I can still remember that. Is the first line, and how little importance we actually give to that when we say, O Parvardigar, the preserver and protector of all. And it was just when it was very, very simply put forward that, the thought came saying, yes, as in just the sheer power in that one line, the depth of that one line when you say the preserver and protector of all. It's not just the humans, it's of everyone and of everything in the entire universe. that was something that Sam drew my attention to when I was there for one of these Thursday programs. um, in fact, someone last Thursday or something, I remember someone again mentioned seeing Baba's face in a book or something like that. And last night we were having pizza, and I noticed Baba's face in my cheese pizza. I was very happy that it was in my cheese pizza and not in my ham pizza, because Baba doesn't like all this non-veg and all that. So though my wife made me eat the pizza, so I ate Baba's photo very happily after that. uh, One last thing I wanted to talk about before I give uh, the, the, the forum back to Sam was Baba's picture at the center, which is right now the display picture of the Avtar Mehr Baba Bombay Center handle. Um, there is something very magical about that picture. Um, Apart from the fact that no matter where you're standing in the center, when you look at the picture, Baba is looking directly at you, which happens with a lot of Baba pictures. But apart from his eyes, if you actually just look at the picture constantly, you will know whether he's happy with you or not. Like if I go on a Sunday and if I'm sitting and if I'm looking at the picture, sometimes I feel Baba smiling at me, and I feel okay, I've been a good boy this week. And sometimes I go on a Sunday and I feel he's looking at me with such disgust, and I'll be like, "Arey bapre, I'm really I've got 2-3 lifetimes more added to my list already now with this 1 week that has passed." His picture is very, very, very magical. So if and when you all do go to the Bombay Center this time, try and notice that one thing, and just keep looking at it, and you'll get your answer as to how you should take your lead for the next week. So with that, thank you very much, and Jai Baba.
So fast, Danesh? How can he let you go so fast?
Good enough, thank you.
Anyway, talking about this picture at the center, to me, it's not a picture. It's Baba himself sitting there. It's Baba himself sitting. Unki maujudgi, his presence is felt in that picture. That is number one. And because of his presence, he shows his pleasure or displeasure according to how you behaved and all that. The line from Australian Aarti, which Danesh was talking about, is, "Accept me as a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour." If you think about it, what is our life? A few decades, maybe 70, 80 years, whatever. Uske baad kya? So we all have to fade away someday or the other. But to fade away at his feet, unke charnon mein, that to me is a very big thing. Danesh, I would like you to also recite this song of yours. I'll never ever forget that incident where we were all at his grandfather's funeral. The whole ceremony was done very ostensibly, and the priests had just finished their prayers, and this young man stands up all by himself. And he started off with this walk with the King Meher Baba. I was so touched and so moved. And I felt that this particular thing, which came right from his heart, was beyond all the prayers that were performed by the so-called priests present around. And I don't know, I just kind of felt that Baba was holding this old man's hand and taking him with him. I'd seen your grandfather, Danesh, at very many, what do you call it? Those RC feasts where we all go, Gambas, where we all, and I used to see him sit down and enjoy his meals. And I have very fond memories of those meetings with him. Of course, they were very brief, just hello, hi, and how are you, and this, that, and the other. But that song, when you said, I walk with the King Meher Baba, I literally felt, okay, yes, उनके grandfather की life was not wasted. Was not wasted. And मुझे पता नहीं, I don't know whether he ever believed in Meher Baba or not, or what, but that is neither here nor there. Anybody and everybody who loves God loves Meher Baba, directly or indirectly, doesn't really matter, because Khuda jo hai is open for everyone, everyone. So Danesh, could you please oblige us with this? Incidentally, is that thing behind you done by your wife? This?
No, it's not been done.
Okay.
Though she purchased it because it had Baba's colors, but it's not.
Acha. See, very tasteful. Yeah.
So in November of 2016, my grandmother went to Baba, and she was the closest person that I had, right? I was the closest. I loved her very much, and some years back, before that, uh, the, the WZO World's Restaurant Organization had started the crematorium at Worli, where they had renovated uh, one of those bungalows over there, and they had kept it. And my grandmother read it in the newspaper, and she told my grandfather that when I go, I want to go here. I don't want to go to the Dungarwadi. By then, both of them were Baba lovers. Uh, and so she turned to my grandfather and asked him, "Where are you going to go?" So he said, "I'll go wherever you go."
Areva.
So he said, "Okay." And so she passed away first. And after, as you said, after the prayers were done, we all got up and we did Baba's prayers first. And after that, I sang Walk with the King. And after the funeral and everything, we took the ashes and we scattered them in Mehrabad near Baba's Samadhi. And my grandfather was with me when we scattered the ashes. And as we were burying them, he said, "Do the same thing for me." So, to answer your question, yes, he was a Baba lover and he wanted a particular way as to how it was done. All right, Walk with the King. Jai Baba. In sorrow I wandered, my spirit oppressed, but now I am happy, securely at rest. From morning till evening, glad carols I sing, This is the reason I walk with the King. I walk with the King, Meher Baba. I walk with the King, praise his name. No longer I roam, my soul faces home. I walk and I talk with the King. For years in the fetters of sin I was bound. The world could not help me. No comfort I found. But now, like the birds and the sunbeams of spring, I'm free and rejoicing. I walk with the King. I walk with the King, Meher Baba. I walk with the King, praise his name. No longer I roam, my soul faces home. I walk and I talk with the King. O soul near despair, in the lowlands of strife, look up and let Baba come into your life. The joy of his love to you he would bring. Come into the sunlight and walk with the King. I walk with the King, Meher Baba. I walk with the King, praise his name. No longer I roam, my soul faces home. I walk and I talk with the King. I walk with the King, Meher Baba. I walk with the King, praise his name. No longer I roam, my soul faces home. I walk and I talk with the King. No longer I roam, my soul faces home. I walk and I talk with the King. Jai Baba.
Our Meher Baba ki jai. Danesh, you were not alone singing this song.
Hmm?
There's a lady who sang every word along with you, and that was Havovi Dada Chanji. I can see her in that picture there.
Oh, she's here.
Yes,
Oh, Jai Baba Kaki.
have her here, honestly. There's one more request, Danesh, Perin Jasumani from Toronto, requesting you to sing Meher Raj, if you can.
Mehraj.
Uh,
Ah.
Before you sing Meher Raj, can you tell us the background as to who wrote it and when and what, if you know it?
Yes, so I believe it was written by Mehru's father, Rustam Irani, in 1925, if I'm not mistaken. And it was actually Baba's first Gujarati Aarti. And it was sung for the first time by Baba's sister Mani to Baba, and Baba liked it very much. Mehra also enjoyed it quite a bit. And for one of Mehra's birthdays, she had requested Katie to sing Mehraj as the Aarti. And I was given the Aarti by Dolly Dastoor, Jal Dastoor's wife, and she had told me to keep singing it because it was an Aarti that a lot of people did not know, but it was an Aarti that Baba and Mehra both liked, and it was not sung enough according to her. Along with that, she had given me another Aarti or another song called Jalwagiri, Paki Yazdan, and I think that was written by Baba under the pen name of Huma, but I don't have the lyrics of that with me presently. I have it at home. So Mehraj, okay. Jai Baba. Before I start, Janice, I think Baba heard you. She called me up a little earlier at her
Yes,
forum,
Dan.
and she said, "Can you sing Mehraj?" And I said, "Sam's already asked me to sing Walk with the King, so I don't think it'll be fine if I sing two songs." And there, I think. Okay.
Guess what? Uncle's not aware about it. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba. All right. मेहर राज जय राज तुझनु धने जगद माज बांधी बैठा छे आश तुझ पर छोड़ी सर्वे का मेहर राज जय राज तुझनु धने जगद माज बांधी बैठा छे आश तुझ पर छोड़ी सर्वे का सुखनो सागर स्वरूप सुंदर ज्ञाननो भंडार जगने खातर उपाड़िया छे दुखो ते अपार धजा तारी धुजावे सर्वे नपको ने बदकार सर्वे सुखोना भोगे ते की दाछे ऊपर का बेगा करी हम बंदों ने सर्वे देखाड्यो अतनी सा शिखाड्यो हमने संत मार्ग ते ईश्वरी अवतार जात भेद ते दूर करीने कीधा सर्वे एक सार खरो खुदानो ख्याल बख्श्यो ते ओ मेहरबान मन हमारू हरण करीने काप्या पाप पार सर्वे सुखोना भोगे ते की दाछे ऊपर का शरण छे तुझने सर्व देवो रहे छे तुझनी पास बके छे तेवो अंजान जेवो न जाने तुझने खास रचे छे बाजी तहे तहेनी राखी एक विचार बचावे जीवड़ा तोड़ावे शाकल शिखावीने प्यार अरज हमारी कबूली दे जो तरावी हमने पार सर्वे स्वर्गोना मालिक छो तमे जगना तारनहार तलब तमारी करे छे कुल संतने जरगार कर नसीब सेवा तुझनी ओ खुदय अवतार मेहर राज्य राज तुझनु तने जगद मां आज बांधी बैठा छे आश तुझ पर छोड़ी सर्वे काज सुखनो सागर स्वरूप सुंदर ज्ञाननो भंडार जगने खातर उपाड़िया छे दुखो ते अपार मेहर राज जय राज तुझनु तने जगद मां मेहर राज जय राज तुझनु तने जगद मां बांधी बैठा छे आश तुझ पर छोड़ी सर्वे का जय बाबा
Meher Baba. You'd be surprised, Danesh. There are so many others who've been wanting to hear this song. He said, okay, thank you for. So it actually goes to prove that it is Baba who conducts this entire show here.
जय बाबा
Meher Baba. There are two things I would like to ask you, Danesh. One is that you have a very good practice or a habit. Every time before your shows come on, you all get together and do Baba's prayer or Aarti. That is number one, which I have always admired. Well, it suddenly brought me memories of our dramas and shows that we used to have at Patkar Hall and all that. पाटकर हॉल डेज मैंने एक चीज देखी थी कि even if the hall was completely full, first row में एक सीट हमेशा खाली रहती थी. And this is my conjecture, bolo, my belief, whatever. This is where I would come and sit down to watch the show. This is what I felt. The question I want to ask you, Danesh, is you played several roles in our center's dramas, right from Muhammad the Mas to Alobaji, where there was a funny incident where you did that Alobaji's Hitler and your pajama Nara snapped and you still carried on and all that. I wish we had that video. Maza aati sabko dekhne ko. What I want to ask you is, have you ever felt anything within? Or was it just one of your acts where you portrayed the character that you were supposed to do and that was the end of the show?
Not when I played Muhammad the Mas or when I actually played Aluba's character. No, because I wouldn't dare connect myself with them. But it was when I played Madhusudan's role.
Ah,
That was there was a scene in that in the play where Madhusudan returns back to Mehrabad, and um, he's crying and crying, and he's asking Baba's forgiveness for leaving Baba, and Baba is not around for for abandoning or forgetting Baba or pushing Baba away or whatever he did. And yeah, that I uh, that that was something that I connected with quite a bit. Not because I've ever pushed Baba away, but just the fear that I should never be in this position. That I want to work to not be in this position ever in my life. Hopefully, with Baba's grace, that I should not push him away and forget him. Uh, that fear was something that was constantly building up, uh, especially during this pandemic, because Mehrabad was closed and we were traveling everywhere else. Marika and myself, along with a couple of our friends and Darius, of course, we were traveling everywhere, but we would not go to Mehrabad. And I remember expressing this once, saying to them, saying that I'm worried that we're going to get so entangled in all these beautiful sites that we are going to, that I hope we don't forget that we have to go to Mehrabad the day it opens. And unfortunately, the day it opened, we could not go, but with Baba's grace, we went a week prior to that. So I was like, okay, thank you. Again, before it happened, you let me come to you. But yeah, that scene was something that I hope doesn't happen. And with everything that is going on, it helps you keep going. Is that one line in Mehraj which always sticks with me and is most relevant today, is the first verse itself of the Aarti, where you say, uh, the first line, of course, Mehraj Jai Raj Tujnu Tane Jagat Ma Aaj, but then you say, Bandi Betha Che Aaj, Ash Tuj Par Chhodi Sarve Kaaj. As in we've stopped working, we've not got any work. Baddu Chhodi Sarve Kaaj, Baddu Kaam Chuti Gyu, sab, everything is over, and the only hope is you now. As in, after that fear, that thing is that now everything is for everybody. You've got nothing, you've got nowhere to go again with this whole new wave. You've got nowhere to go, nothing to do, but you are so that those two lines are most relevant. And even with the Madhusudan role, that these two lines are the ones that come most to mind, because not because of anything that he did, just that when I was doing that scene, that was something that stuck with me the longest, still stuck with me. That is my one fear in life, that I don't want to forget. And he helps with that. When I forget him, he comes knocking and says, "Hello, remember me?" And I say, "Hi, yes, sir." I say, "Yeah, I remember." So he keeps coming. Hmm.
there are quite a few things when we start speaking about the drama. Of course, besides the maja and the masti that we all do and the tingle tangle and everything, uh, there used to be a lady who was, what do you call, someone who can see, clairvoyant, I don't know. That lady always said that she would see Baba at the main entrance of that auditorium, standing around and admiring and looking at all the goings on the stage. Another thing very peculiar is that, well, first, let me tell you the background of the reason why I asked this question to Danesh is because many years ago, when I was a very small, young kid, my mother had narrated this incident where there was a Marathi movie made on the life of Sant Tukaram. and the actor was some Pagnis was his last name. I don't remember his first name now. And the premiere of that show was held at the Central Cinema, which is at Girgaon. And she said, Ke, after people saw that movie, and when they came out, and this actor was around, they all just rushed up to him as though he was Tukaram himself. And that man had a change of heart. He said, Chala, ek role, I played this role and I get elevated to such a this thing. It seemed he left acting and all that and set out in search of God and things like that. So that was the background, the reason why I asked you this question, Danesh. Somebody said there's a film available on the YouTube. Yes, but there are two versions. One is the old one is the new one. I'm talking about the black and white old one. Anyway, another thing that I want to narrate is every time during this shows that we put on, whether in Bombay or at Mehrabad or anywhere else, somehow or the other, the Maya always comes in between. Especially the lead actors, जिनको कभी फीवर हो जाती थी तो कभी जुलाब छूट जाता था तो कभी every time before this, and then once we come on stage and Baba would take over and everything would go off well. But ये मैंने बहुत दफे notice किया है, this thing keeps happening a lot of times. I don't know what Baba's inner working or plan or whatever you call it, वो सब क्या होगा, I really don't know, nor do I understand. But this is one of the occurrences that happens. Danesh, anything else you would like to tell us?
No, thank you, Jai Baba.
Don't sign off yet, Jai
No,
Baba.
I'm here. Jai Baba.
Sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
Danesh, Jimmy uncle, tell us something about your mom and dad. You haven't said anything about them.
Mom.
Yasmin.
My mom. So, mom and dad, they were obviously not Baba lovers. We did not belong to a Baba lover family. We were never that fortunate. So, after I had just returned from my first visit to Mehrabad, and as I told you, I was already in love with Baba. My mom and my grandmother were very worried that this boy has fallen into some cult, and he's now going to go for these japas and all that, and they were very scared. So I told her, I said, you come to Mehrabad and you'll see uh, if you like the place, etc. And she said yes, yes, yeah, but she never came. But though she would credit to her that even though she did not want me to go, she never stopped me from going. In fact, I would use her car and driver to go to Mehrabad, which my parents would pay for, but they would never stop me from doing that. So this was in December, and my mom had an important negotiation going on at work, and I told her, I said, come to Mehrabad, meet Baba, see the place. And she said, if my negotiation goes through, I'll really believe that your Baba is God. And I said, look, don't do that, because you have one card that you play with Baba when you test Baba and say, Baba, prove you're God. If you use it now, that's the end. You can never use it again. Luckily, I have not yet used that card. So she said, no, if he's really God, then my negotiation will go through in this year itself. And this she tells me on the 31st of December in the morning. And the year is obviously going to get over, and she's sitting at home, blah, blah, blah. Next day, at night, we went for the midnight aarti, and she was in Bombay and all that. Next morning, went for aarti at 7 o'clock. After that, we were at breakfast, and I call her to wish her Happy New Year. And she says, "Guess what?" I said, "What?" She said, "My contract is just getting signed right now." So I said, "Oh, okay, you won, you know." I was all, okay, maybe it didn't happen in this year. She said, "No, it's happening right now, and this is before 12 o'clock. And my company is a US company, so the contract will be predated as the last year's contract, and all the employees will get their bonus." And she was thrilled, and she said, "Okay, now I believe that he's God. I believe that he's God."
Wow.
And after that, she ended up coming. My father came to Mehrabad along with my whole family, and slowly but steadily, they all came to Baba. Now they're all. My father is a bit of a silent Baba lover, as I told you. He would join me in Aarti together during the lockdown and everything. He wears Baba's colors and all. He has a little Baba pendant in his car. But if you say Jai Baba to him, he will say hello. That's what so he's like that. Whereas my mother is nice. You say Jai Baba, she'll just come and give you a big tight hug and say Jai Baba back to you. So that's how they are now.
Jimmy?
Yeah, Danesh just talked about silent Baba lover. This is something I always wanted to share with people. Never, never, ever judge someone's love for Baba. Never. Do not sit in the judgment seat for anyone in your life. Never do that. I've been doing it. I've done it many times. And every time I do that, I get a slap. I know someone who's a silent Baba lover. Just as Danesh said, is if he said Jai Baba to his father would say, yes, hi. I have a same situation. But from time to time, Baba reminds me that Jimmy, you're wrong. Time to time, he reminds me, Jimmy, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't prejudge and don't sit in judgment seat for others. You mind your own business. If you're a Tom Baba lover, fine with you. Okay, done, accept it. But be where you are. Be at peace with yourself. Don't judge others. And I'm still learning. I think after 55, 60 years, I'm still learning. So I thought I'll tell this. This is what I have to tell everyone. Don't try it. Don't try it. Leave it to them. Leave it to them. Leave it to Baba. Everything is fine in their own space, in their own time. As they, it's a matter of, I think, a personality. It's a matter of character. How people want to be Baba lovers. It's fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, Danesh, you hit on the head.
It's not the silent love or the tom-tom love. It's the quality of love that matters the most. It reminds me of a story which Erat Jasawala had once narrated at the Mandli Hall. There was this king, a Hindu Raja, very, very nice person, just a very, very good king for his subjects, you know, सबके साथ बहुत अच्छी तरह से रहता था वगैरह वगैरह. His wife Rani was very much into all this puja part and celebrations. आज तो राम का ये है, आज तो रामनवमी है, आज तो ये है, आज तो वो है, दिवाली है, ये वो. And she would greet everyone with Jai Ram Ji ki, this, that, and all. All this would go on, but the husband, the king, never ever showed any sign of this loving Lord Ram or whatever it was. And that queen, that Rani, kept feeling very bad about this whole thing. Ke he's such a good man, he's so nice, sab kuch acha hai. Why doesn't he remember Ram? And finally, it so happened, एक रात को जब ये दोनों सोए थे, अचानक से उस राजे के मुंह से हे राम करके निकल गया. And the queen heard it. वो इतनी खुश हो गई कि next morning she just announced that let there be celebrations throughout the kingdom. सभी लोग, तो बेचारा king उठ के he started staring out of the window and saw all these celebrations going on, and he asked, he said, आज क्या है? What is all this in aid of? ये किस वजह से ये सब celebration हो रहा है? तो she turns around and tells him कि कल रात को मैंने आपके मुंह से राम का नाम ले निकलते सुना था. The king was so disappointed. He said, मैंने अब तक उसको संभाल के बंद करके दिल में रखा था, आज क्यों बाहर निकल गया. So there are some people who do that too, who keep that love bottled up within themselves without making any show, saraba, or doing tom-tom, as Jimmy said, and the way I do tom-tom about it. Each one their own, and like again what Jimmy said, let us not be judgmental towards anybody. But ये जो कहानी है मैंने नीरज जी से सुनी थी और आज तक मुझे याद है. I've never forgotten this. कि बाबा के साथ there is always one-on-one. Whether you are silent, whether you are loud, whether you are dirty, whether you are clean, whether you are prim and proper, whether you are punctual, whether you are late, जो भी खूबियां खामियां जिसमें जो भी है, he knows it all and he loves us all, regardless of whatever. Only he knows कौन किसको कितना प्यार करते हैं. And मैं हमेशा ये सोचता हूँ, I always think कि ये जो हम ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स करते हैं, which has reached far and wide, सभी लोग देख सकते हैं. जो कई लोग इधर पार्टिसिपेंट्स में देखते हैं और फिर उसके बाद फेसबुक और वगैरह पे देखते हैं वगैरह वगैरह. अगर ये मेरा मानना है, अगर इनमें से कोई एक भी जो बाबा को चाहने वाला, जैसे उनको चाहिए वैसा, what he called as बंदे खुदा, खुदा का बंदा, अगर एक भी ऐसा पैदा हुआ तो all this effort and ये जो सब जिंग बैंग जो हम लोग चलाते हैं would all be worthwhile. And I think someday कभी ना कभी ये बंदे खुदा निकलेगा. ये मेरे मन की श्रद्धा है. It is my belief, and it will also be from a younger generation. It will also be from a younger generation. दोस्तों, हमारा वक्त खत्म होने आया है. I'm not talking about this program. I'm talking about our lives. We are towards the fag end of our lives. And I often used to wonder कि ये center का क्या होगा, बाबा के ये का क्या होगा, all those so-called stalwarts चले गए, मंडली चली गई वगैरह. His work never stops. In fact, it has gained more and more momentum. Sorry. और अगर आज आप देखने जाओ तो these youngsters, I can only talk about myself. जब मैं उनकी एज का था तो I was like a yo-yo. मेरे को कुछ ये सब चीजों में ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं था वगैरह. But these people are so deep and they have such great understanding and love for Baba कि मुझे ये लगता है कि a time will come when there will not be just one or two, but बहुत सारे बंदे खुदा निकल कर आएंगे. इसी दुआ के साथ I would like to end today's program. Unless anybody wants to say anything before, please feel free to comment or ask any questions. जिसको जो करना बोलना है, please feel free. We'll hold the session open for a few minutes. Anybody has any questions? How are we, Dada Chandji? Jai Baba. Unmute, darling, unmute. Unmute kar. Please unmute. How are we? Okay.
Acha, Hoshan, just a quick Jai Baba Jarina.
Yes, my friend Hoshan, Jai Baba.
Okay, Kritika Guru. Babu Baba.
Haji.
Wish all of our Baba lovers throughout the world, throughout India, throughout Bombay, happy 2022. Happy, healthy, joyful, cheerful, prosperous in Baba's Love 2022. Wisdom to your channel. Please. Thank you very much. Nothing more to say.
Hope to meet you.
Love to meet you soon at the center now. Hopefully. What do you think? When are we going to meet?
In his good time.
In our good time. Thanks to Baba to call us, to invite us at our Bombay Center. Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba. Hoshan, you don't know how happy we feel to see you. How happy we feel.
Thank you.
Jai Baba Hoshang uncle. Nice to see you.
Oh,
Sorry.
Ram Nori.
Ram Nori. Where are you in Pune or Bombay?
No, I just got back yesterday from Mehrabad. So everybody's doing well, you know. Jal uncle and Sridhar uncle, everyone came to. And it was pretty cold.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Sam,
Haji.
I want to ask one. Sam,
Haji, bolo.
I just want to ask you something.
Haji, bolo.
In this Parvardigar prayers, we are saying that you are in Parvardigar, you are the preserver and protector of all.
Haji.
And further also we say that you are in everything, you are everywhere, and you are in everything.
And you're also beyond everywhere.
And he says in everything. He is in everywhere and he is everything. So what I feel is this coronavirus, which is also, whether Baba is also in that virus also.
Of course.
Which is killing millions of people in the earth. They are killing millions of people on this earth. So what, that is some confusion in my mind.
See,
Can you clarify?
Sam, if I may.
Haji, please go ahead.
Jai Baba, Parvez uncle. So this is my understanding of this, and we have Sam and Jimmy Khan and all the stalwarts are here. But just my understanding of it is, the avatar usually takes human form, to give the world a spiritual push. Suffering is a very integral part of this spiritual push, and this. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is something that one has to accept as a part of life, and every step we take, we're getting closer and closer to him. I agree, millions and million people are dying, and this is not the first time this happens in the wars all the time, and you are seeing it in mankind. But this human push has been happening with the bird flu in the animal kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. Jimmy uncle had told me about this. Jimmy uncle, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, Danesh.
Yeah, so this, you remember, you told us this about the bird flu happened in the animal kingdom, and with the tsunamis and all of that. So every element was getting a spiritual push, and at that point of time, we had also discussed about the that controversial subject where they had said that 3/4 of the world population, and you had explained it to us, where you had said that it was something to do with the ignorance, or something like that, that you had spoken on. Do you recollect?
No, not right. Not immediately. Not immediately.
So anyway, to answer your question, Parvez uncle, this is my understanding that the pandemic is, well, not a leaf moves without his will, so it is by his will, and I think it is a sort of a mega spiritual push that is being given to mankind. This is my interpretation only, huh?
But
Sam?
in Parvardiga prayer, he's the preserver and protector of all.
Yes.
Preserver and protector of all. Whereas in Hinduism, they say God is a preserver and destroyer also. But in our prayers, Baba says, I am the preserver and protector of all, no destroyer of all.
He is also the destroyer. He's the destroyer of ignorance. He's the destroyer of Maya. He's the destroyer of all your worldly attachments, and he's preserving your love and protecting you. And just see, when death is not necessarily a bad thing. Just because you die doesn't mean that Baba did not protect you, right? Uh, Dying will lead to eventual dying is when you die and you attain realization. That is a real dying. Otherwise, it is, as Baba once said, it's like a strand of hair that falls off your head. It's just as insignificant as that.
Parvez, if you say that is Baba in Corona, then effectively it means that you do not believe that he is omnipresent and omniscient. If Baba is omnipresent, otherwise he's not there. He's not all pervading. If Mer Baba is all pervading, then he is in everything. And as Danesh said, it's just changing from one garment to the other garment. There is no real death. Real death comes only once, and real life also comes only once. And the world wars and the plague and what have you, since time immemorial. So these things happen, and it's all his mega plan, which you and I, with our microscopic brains, will never understand, will never fathom. But only thing is, we will come out. It's always been that. It has always been historically proved that whatever happens ultimately happens for the best. In our own lives also. People have said that I've gone through hell, but I am a better person. So it applies universally. It applies to everyone and everything. including COVID. Yes, Sam, I'm true.
Parvez, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Have you got your answer, or are you still looking for some more?
Because that during the Baba's time, World War took place. But
Ji.
that was a man-made thing. It was due to the Hitler and all those people. Because of that man-made. That disaster, World War, people died because it was man-made. Whereas here, this calamity has come in a natural way. So I am just confused. How can Baba be in the virus?
May I interrupt you for a minute, Parvez? That so-called man-made World War was also orchestrated by the perfect master called Sai Baba. And there is a story where Sai Baba was known for going for a thing called Lendi March. Whenever he wanted to move his barrels, he would go into the fields and he would go in a procession. Some fellow would carry an umbrella and one fellow would do the Dol Tasha and all that. And then he would sit in the fields and relieve himself. And he would take very, very long time. And one day he just casually mentioned, okay, whilst I'm doing this, I'm conducting the affairs of the Second World War. So what I'm trying to say is, okay, all this happens as per the divine plan. Now coming to the preserver and protector of all. Parvez?
Yes, yes.
Preserving and protecting, he has always been doing for us. He has been preserving our soul and protecting our soul. Body is not so important. Aaj hai, kal nahi hai. It is the soul which is eternal. So, Baba is in Corona, and those of us who pass over, they will be taken care by him all the way. That is my belief, Parvez.
Sam, a small correction. First World War.
I'm sorry, First World War.
First
Yeah.
World War. Second was conducted by Baba.
Haji, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sam?
Ji.
Now that Hoshang uncle and Havavi are here, Hoshang uncle and Havavi auntie are here, they can correct. They have a story, which is when Hoshang's older brother Nariman was in Germany, and when Arnavaz was writing a letter, he told her, to ask him to come back to India, and he did, and the war started after that, I guess. So maybe Hoshang uncle can confirm it.
Yeah, it was in 1939, Ram.
Yeah.
Just Nariman wanted to take up a job in Germany after qualifying as chemical engineer.
Yeah.
And Baba said, immediately come back. Or maybe he wanted to go to London and do a job. Baba said, come back. And he, nick of time, he landed in Mumbai, and in no time the World War started. Then Nariman realized Baba's omniscience.
Yeah, that's protection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I did 38 or 39 because 39 the World War started.
Yeah, 39 to 45. Yes. Yeah.
Parvez ji.
Haji.
Any?
Yeah, I have full faith in Baba. Full faith.
Yes.
I all the time. Sometimes I actually talk with him also when I see his photograph. So I have got full faith in him. He will do whatever is good for the world.
Yes. Keep that faith going, and hold on to his daman with both your hands.
Yes, yes, of course.
And
Jai
if,
Baba.
if you
Jai
get
Baba.
a chance, एक हाथी आबान ने भी पकड़ी रखो.
हमने थियोसॉफिकल નો ક્લાસ લે છે.
Oh, okay, okay. So thank you, everybody. Anybody else wants to say anything? Janice,
हाँ जी, yes.
last and final call, darling. दुकान बंद करो.
Uncle Aarti.
अरे हाँ, oh. Thanks for reminding, yeah. Thanks for reminding. कौन करेगा आरती?
Jimmy Khan.
हाँ जी.
Jimmy Khan.
Sam Neha has a good voice. Sam Neha has a good voice.
Neha has a good voice. Is Neha around?
Yes.
Okay, Neha, do any aarti of your choice, please.
Aarti or prayer?
Aarti.
Aarti. Bujhave, I'll do Bujhave.
Anything. Whichever one.
Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Bujhave. नार चहलतनी है कर खुद रत फरमा तू छेलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूर ईमान तू आया मुर्शद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर खुदा ना जात थी वाकिफ थई बैठो मेहरबान तू तुझे मालिक हकीकत ना तू आशिक भी ने आरफ भी तुझे दरी याए वहदत मारिफत नो होई तूफान तू हमोर है रब में सारे बख्श जे न्यान इज़्ज़तनो के तू पर मात मान्यानी छने हूँ तारे इरफान तू खुदा ना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सदके साखिया पी दे पैमा तू हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदा है मेहर बाबा छे निगहबा तू हमारा ना खुदा है मेहर बाबा छे निगहबा तू बुझावे नार जहलतनी है कर खुद रत्न फरमा तू चलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूर ईमान तू अवतार मेहर बाबा की थैंक यू बाबा थैंक यू बाबा
Thank you, Baba. Jai Baba, everybody. कुछ बोलने वाला था लेकिन पता नहीं भूल गया. All I would like to say now is we are coming to a closure. Keep Baba with us and cling on to his daman with both our hands. Corona, no corona, whatever. जो भी होगा उनकी मर्जी से ही होगा और उनकी मर्जी के बिना एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिलेगा. That is our conviction. Let us stick to it. मेहर बाबा की जय.
की जय. जय बाबा.
जय बाबा सर. जय बाबा.
Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you,
Jai
Baba, and you
Baba.
all. Stay safe, take care. Baba Nigaba. And once again, Happy New Year to everyone. Have a blessed New Year ahead.
Happy New Year.
I'll end the meeting for all now. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Baba ki jai.
Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Meher Baba ki jai.
Avtar Meher Baba.
Meher Baba ki jai.
Meher Baba.